Hey, buckle up, folks. I'm not sure where this is all headed this afternoon. Okay, I blame this guy. I blame this guy for the fact that I've been sitting here at the workbench for about 10 minutes now, just shaking my head over where this project has taken me over the past couple of months. Now, who is this guy? Well, it's a little resin figure, 1/32nd scale figure of Hans Joachim Marseille, a Luftwaffe ace of the Second World War. It's a wonderful little resin kit. It was sculpted by Douglas Lee for his little company, Doug's Original, defmodel.com out of Korea. I picked up this figure, I don't know, a year ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, I don't remember. I bought a bunch of these pilots, all different historical figures. They were really nicely sculpted. And I gotta say, I was pretty proud of the paint job I did on all of them. And I really liked what I'd done on Marseille, who, like almost all of my other figures, was just perched on a little seat on top of my display case. And that's where he would remain. But then, go down and let's progress with the story. And what I thought was just a month or two ago, but turned out to be sometime in July. So what is that, 4 months ago, roughly? 3-4 months ago? Jeff announced that he was sponsoring, hosting, launching a group appreciation build for Tom White. And an open build. You could build anything you wanted. And I thought that was a pretty cool idea. If it had been the sort of models that Tom favors and does more of, cars, hot rods, etc., I probably would have passed because that's not something that I have a whole lot of familiarity with. But Jeff had made it clear, hey, build anything for this appreciation group build. And you've got a year to do it. If you want to build a ship, fine. If you want to build a truck, fine. If you want to build a tank, fine. I don't know if he mentioned airplanes, but I have to assume that planes were okay. Basically an open build. So I was thinking, well, what should I build? I'd really like to do something for this group appreciation build for Ramblers 69, aka Tom White, or vice versa. And I said, you know what? It's time to put one of those pilots in a plane. And I thought that the nicest looking one of the bunch, in terms of the job I'd done, was Marseille. So I went about searching for a plane and found the Hasegawa 1/32nd scale BF 109F tropical version, in fact, Marseille's plane. Hey, great. So that is going to be my entry, and I've got a year to do it. And I order the kit, and it arrives. And it's a pretty simple build. I mean, in terms of it isn't complex. It doesn't have a humongous number of parts. It doesn't even have an engine inside. Well, here's where things start to get out of control. It doesn't have an engine. It's going to all be closed up. Nah, we got to put in an engine. So I start searching for an aftermarket engine. Sure, I could find one. Yeah, Daimler-Benz 601 engine, the inverted V12 used in the BF 109s and a bunch of other German aircraft of the war. And so got the engine. And not surprisingly, the aftermarket engine from Eduard, I believe, was designed, it wasn't designed explicitly for the Hasegawa kits. Hasegawa makes a whole series of different BF 109s, but I figured I could make it work. The answer is, yeah, I have. It's in there. It's going to fit. And Marseille is going to be posed on the cockpit sill like he is in this picture here. But I said, I got to do more than just jazz up the engine compartment. What about doing something better with the canopy? Yeah, and I had seen that there were aftermarket canopies. And a company that had produced the slickest looking ones, RB Productions, which specializes in photo etched parts, had made us BF 109 canopies. Yeah, for Hasegawa Revell Pro Modeler. So I started searching for that. Now that was a bit more complicated, but you can tell from the instructions I must have found one. Yeah, because RB Productions went out of business. I don't know how many years ago they went out of business, but they are no longer in business. So it was finding it at some model store that really holds, online or eBay. I found it at a model store out of Illinois that sort of specializes in out of production model parts. Okay, so for more time than I'd like to admit, I've been working on the sprue here with the lovely photo etched parts. At least they sure look cool sitting on the sprue. I've sort of succeeded with the largest of the pieces, the main frame, detaching it and sort of getting it bent into shape, using a tool that I don't really understand, but I bought long ago from Small Shop, the 5-speed hold and fold workstation designed for PE parts. I guess I bought this a couple of years ago when I thought I'd be building more models with PE parts, and deciding that I needed something a bit more complex, sophisticated than the little pliers I was using, not always to great effect. And so I've discovered that this whole process does not play to any of my strengths as a modeler at all. This is the simplest thing to do in the whole construct. Believe me, it gets more complex than that. And I don't even have that at the proper angles and straight. And I'm still trying to figure out how really to use this tool that I've got and why the hell I bought it. Well, I'm reading the instructions from the Small Shop, which start out, visualize the completed part. Unfold it in your mind. Folding in the same order that a part unfolds is usually the best. You can practice using a piece of paper the same shape you'll be folding. Find a projection or edge that fits the fold line of your part. The fold line on photo etch is normally up. Align part, then gently press the tool. Head down onto the part using your fingers, then tighten the knob with the other hand to clamp the part. Once a part is secured, slide a dulled razor, hobby knife, folding blade, or any relatively sharp straight edge under the part and lever it to the desired angle. Yeah, right. Okay. Do you honestly think I understood what you were talking about? I read the words, I get there's an order to it, but my visualization skills for stuff like this are absolutely nil. I look at this tool and I don't even understand why it looks like that, which makes me wonder why I bought it in the first place. Speaking of purchasing stuff, whoops, I got so wound up I dropped my iPhone. The cost or price, not that that's important, mind you, of all my add-on parts already greatly exceed the basic cost of this Hasegawa model. Not that that matters. So, July, August, September, October, 4 months and a half a month of November have already gone by. So we're almost at 5 months, which means if I do my math correctly, I've got 7 months left to complete it. This group appreciation build for Tom. Now, if I'd left well enough alone and just built the basic kit, I think I'd be done by now. long done by now. But no, I've got to overcomplicate things. And I'm blaming you, Hans Joachim. The fact that I got you painted up pretty well seduced me into the idea that I could make just a stunning display kit. Why do I even call it a display? You know I'm not going to build a diorama for it. But that I could do something pretty extraordinary in appreciation for just a cool guy and a first-rate modeler. And my opinion about Tom is not going to change. And I think Jeff, it was wonderful for him to suggest this idea. I just have to go back and question my whole thought process. There probably is a good reason why, for the most part, I stick to just painting miniatures or once in a while building the odd Great War biplane in various scales. Because when I move out of my comfort zone, frustrating things happen. I'll get it done. I'm glad that I've still got the stock canopy, because it remains to be seen whether I will have ever justified the purchase of this aftermarket, out of production canopy from RB Productions. But I did make the engine work, so hopefully we can get that going as well. And maybe one day I'll figure out what all of those various shapes are for. As for small shop, maybe pictures would be helpful for somebody like me. Okay. I think it's time to head out of the hobby room, away from the workbench. I've done enough for today, and we'll come back to the BF-109 and related parts tomorrow. Thanks for watching.